One of my all-time favorite game franchises is the Punch-Out series, and the new game Pato Box takes a lot of inspiration from it. But is this boxing showdown truly a quacktacular, or should this one just be ducked away and forgotten about? Pato Box is very much a Punch-Out inspired boxing game, and that means it's much more about timing and learning patterns than necessarily the sport of boxing. The game has a lot in common more with the arcade Punch-Out game or Super Punch-Out on the SNES instead of Mike Tyson's Punch-Out on NES. The game features two modes of play, story mode and arcade mode. In both, you're controlling the main boxer, Pato Box, a half-man, half-duck. In story mode, you get poisoned in the opening fight, and after losing that battle, your goal is to try to find out who poisoned you, why they poisoned you, and you find out there's a lot of shady characters involved in this black and white, very much film noir inspired world. The game itself and the story mode had a bit more to it than I was expecting. The controls in story mode are a bit awkward as far as walking around the areas, interacting with people. You'll have to solve a bit of puzzles as far as finding items and then going back to other areas, as well as get around traps like compressors or poison gas. And overall, while it adds a lot to the game having the story mode, it probably won't be for everyone. So if you're looking for more of just the boxing, thankfully that arcade mode is included here. In the arcade mode, you start off with only the opening fight unlocked, and you'll work your way through all the game's main fights. When it comes to the boxing itself, you have your left and your right glove, and you're able to dodge both left and right and be able to duck and cover by pressing down. Each battle and each opponent has a series of maneuvers that you'll have to learn how to dodge. Starting off slow, but as the fight progresses, they get harder, faster, and more interesting moves. Basically, the way it works, instead of knocking down your opponent for a 10 count, the fight is broken up into 3 segments. You have to work your opponent down, and eventually, after doing enough damage, you'll move on to the second part of the fight. Here, usually they're doing double attacks or more powerful attacks, and then finally, you'll get to the third part of the fight where things really ramp up. The background changes to the boxing ring background, and the bosses will throw everything possible at you during the last bits of the fight, hoping that you'll be able to knock them out before they knock you out. With each fight being so different from one another, with different backgrounds and other items that come into play during a fight, you want to get through the story mode to get to that next battle. And if you're a little bit impatient, of course, jumping in the arcade will allow you to potentially get to that fight even sooner. These battles are really cool. I give the creators props for creativity, for making the battles in each fight feel so unique from one another that you want to get to that next one. The only thing is, of course, I do wish there were more battles included. The story mode will last you a little bit of time, and of course each fight will be longer or shorter depending upon how long it takes you to get down that pattern and finally be able to best each opponent. While it won't be everyone's cup of tea, I did enjoy the visuals, the black and white style. I thought for the most part did a nice job, as well as I also enjoyed the music. From the technical side of things though, I'm happy to report there was no crashing or other major glitches. Pato Box is available now for $14.99 on the PS4 and PlayStation Vita. It does feature a Platinum trophy. The game is also available on the Nintendo Switch and PC. Overall, if you're someone like me who digs Punch-Out, this is another solid game that uses that same similar idea and mechanic. It may not be as classic, but I think the world that's presented in Pato Box is so different from what we see in a lot of other mainstream games that it stands out enough with enough fun gameplay to be worth checking out, if not now, at least at some point down the road, maybe on a sale. With everything said, I'm going to be giving Pato Box on the PS4 a 7 out of 10. That's going to wrap up this review. I'd like to thank you for watching, and of course, I hope you enjoyed.